Is real estate dead in Canada? That's not a rhetorical question. That's the actual headline running across every real estate site in this country right now. And if you've looked at the numbers, I mean really looked at them, you'd understand why people are asking it. So let's answer it properly, because the answer isn't what you think. And it's going to change how you talk to every client that you have this year. Quick question before we get into it. When a client asks you, should I even be doing this right now? What do you actually say? And a second question, do you know the numbers well enough to answer that with confidence, or are you hoping that the market answers it for you? Stick with me for the next few minutes, because by the end of this, you'll have a real answer to both. Let's start with what's actually true, because the fear people feel isn't imaginary. It's built on real data. Toronto's condo market just posted its worst year since 1991. Only 1,599 new units sold in all of 2025, which is a 60% drop from the year before. And 2026 opened even worse, just 246 new condo sales across the GTA in the first quarter. That's down 52% year over year. Resale condo prices in the GTA are down roughly 9% from a year ago. That's 9 straight quarters of a decline. TD is forecasting another 10% drop before this is over. And Vancouver isn't spared either. Benchmark prices are down close to 6% year over year. Active listings are sitting at nearly 30 to 38% above the 10-year average. Condo sales specifically have softened more than any other property type, and Vancouver still holds the title of least affordable market in the country, even after this year's improvement. Now layer consumer sentiment on top of that. 61% of Canadians say the economy is doing poorly right now, and only about a third expect home values in their neighborhood to even rise over the next 6 months. So when someone Googles, is real estate dead in Canada? I get why. The headline writes itself. But here's the thing about that headline. It's wrong. And not because the data is wrong, the data is real. It's wrong because dead is the wrong word for what's actually happening. This isn't a market dying. This is a market repricing. And those are two completely different things. One of them ends careers, and the other one creates the biggest opportunity a lot of you will see in this decade. Here's what the headlines leave out. Korea is forecasting a 7.7% increase in national home sales for 2026. The Bank of Canada has held rates in a neutral range, no shocks, no surprises. And in Toronto, the average mortgage payment on a benchmark home is projected to fall in 2026 for the first time since 2020. Now think about what that actually means. Inventory that looks like a glut to a nervous buyer looks like negotiating leverage to an informed one. Buyers who got priced out in 2021 and 22 are now staring at 2019 era condo prices with today's incomes. And here's the part nobody's talking about. The equity sitting quietly in your clients' homes hasn't gone anywhere. 94% of the homeowner population holds real estate equity and never thinks of themselves as an investor. They just think of themselves as a homeowner who's watching scary headlines. That equity is still there. What's changed is that more of your clients are finally asking the question because the noise around them got loud enough to make them curious. So that's not a dead market. That's a market handing out opportunity to whoever is paying attention. So here's the real question that this video is actually about. The realtors who thrive through a stretch like this one aren't the ones waiting for the headlines to turn positive again. They're the ones who can sit across from a client and say, with real confidence, here's what this actually means for you. While the agent down the street is just repeating the same fear that the client already read on their phone that morning. Now that distinction between reacting to the market and actually understanding it is the whole game right now. And it's not a talent gap, it's an education gap. Most realtors were trained to move transactions, not to lead wealth building conversation. That's fine when the market's doing the selling for you. It's not fine when clients are anxious, headlines are grim, and the only agents getting picked up on are the ones who can actually explain what's happening to someone's equity, their timing, and what their next move is. Closing that gap isn't about working harder in a down market. It's about turning that knowledge that you already have or could have into a business that's sitting right in front of you. Real estate isn't dead in Canada, it's just asking a different question of the people selling it. I'm Gord Lemon, co-founder of the Real Estate Investment Institute, and this is exactly the gap that we built the Real Estate Investment Institute to close. Training realtors to lead wealth-building conversations with clients, turning knowledge into trust and trust into business. If this market is the reason that you clicked on this video, the Real Estate Investment Specialist designation is how you turn it into your advantage. Please like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.